I'm gonna start trying to do total beginner or noob guys for TFT. And today I'm gonna try to teach you guys how to force jacks as if you never played the game before. So the item I like to go off carousel is bow. Because it builds into rapid fire cannon, which you need 2 bows for. Rage blade, which you need a bow, or giant slayer, which you also need a bow. And on stage 1, 1 and 2, basically all I have to pick up is all the brawlers, which is Renekton, Blitzcrank, Lee Sin, Vi, Jax, and Riven. And I like to place hold basically any backline carry with the Jax items before I hit. We have a Riven, who is a brawler. I would basically just buy only the brawlers if you don't want to play the game, because it's going to get too dizzy trying to play more units. So any one backline carry is good enough, and just play all brawlers for an easy transition. And we hit a Jax. So this game will probably be too easy an example because we already have 4 bruisers and a Jax. It's too high roll. So we will leave the game and run it back. So this shop, basically nothing is a bruiser at all. I'll just buy the Kale and I'll basically just sell everything, because if we're just forcing a comp, I don't really want to combine Ezreal 2. We're just going to force bruisers or brawlers. Not bad. The only brawler in the shop is Blitzcrank, so we'll buy him and probably any pairs, which is the Galio pair. And if we get more gold here, I will sell for econ. So we have RFC, which is the best item that we could have hit in the game for this comp. And I don't personally like to roll my first shop. And if I was in a real lobby, I'd probably take consistency here in full open. And honestly, you don't need this to full open. If I saw that I had no brawlers and I'm looking to full play for all brawlers anyways, I would just not buy this Lux and just full open. And just roll down on 3-2 and not worry about my HP too much. So we have RFC Slam here, and we have a glove. So off carousel, we can look to either get another bow, or we can finish off a Hodge with the glove. So the best augments on stage 2, any brawler augment, electric charge, battle mage, makeshift, second wind, and scope weapons. So we're Renekton 2 here. So you'd probably be a lot lower HP, but it's fine. Even if you full open, it's completely fine, because you can roll basically to 0 on 3-2, as your board will be about the same. And we hit a Jax kind of early, which is kind of lucky, because usually you won't find Jax until your 3-2 roll down. So I personally would go for another bow here off carousel. Okay, but the thing is, this time there's a raw Jax. So I'll just pretend like there wasn't a raw Jax, because I would take the raw Jax. But to make it like more, the case more like, you know, common, I'll take a ball off carousel, and I'll look to make either Giant Slayer or Rage Blade off carousel from this spot. And this is my board, and I won last round. I probably level here to 5 just to maintain a streak, and because Jax 2 is actually really strong in the mid game. So I will sell Poppy here just in case I don't get gold. And only that, but on the next stage, 3-1, I like to have my only active trait is going to be brawlers, because I don't even want to have the option to get another augment, because if you're a new player, most likely you won't know how to pivot off into a different comp. And this way you can always force a comp 20 out of 20. So we got another bow, which is fine, because that can just be a Shiv on a Soraka or a Giant Slayer on a Soraka. Or we can also reforge it, because we got dropped the reforger. And we hit every single brawler in the game. Wow, we actually don't even need a roll. Also, you should always check the admin, and you basically take anything that says your team, but this time we didn't get anything that says your team. So that's kind of unlucky. These are so bad that the killer gains 30 mana. I mean, Jax have mana. These are so bad. I might just take it anyways. So we got Brawler Heart. So basically, it's probably the best augment in the game. But as you see, you don't want a single trait active. You don't even want admin in. You don't want defender in. Like, I could have defender in here. But for hero augments, we could have potentially griefed it. And we could have hit like a rel augment or something, which is not that good if you just try to force us the same comp over and over again. But you see this game hit Brawler Heart, which is the most broken augment for this comp, in my opinion. Because it lets you fit in 8 bruisers, or 8 brawler, my bad, on level 6. So here, we already have our comp. So we don't need to roll down. But normally, should I sell my board? But normally, you need to roll down slightly on this turn and look for these exact units, not the Wukong. But Vi, Lee Sin, Riven, Renekton, Jax, and Blitzcrank until you're somewhat stable. So like 1 or 2 of them 2 stars and Jax 1. If you don't find Jax 1, that's fine. You can also play units like Senna 2, Vayne 2, or something like backline carry. And since we have RC, you don't have to have healing. So I would have just slammed Titans. I should probably reforge a glove. Because I'll just reforge a glove now anyways. Oh. Well, now it's just Rage Blade. I could just go Rage Blade Titan and slam everything I have just for tempo because I'm going to play 8 brawlers this game. You don't even need healing. So if this was a carousel and I was first pick, I would go for tier here or any Soraka items because I won't take the Soraka because that's too high roll, I guess. We'll just take the Zac. But I would take any tier here because now we're trying to build Soraka items for admin. And basically, you just level to 7 here, and as soon as you hit Sejuani, you can fit in 8 bruises on level 7. But normally, we don't have this much gold, and you don't level if you roll down 3-2 until 4-1. Honestly, I'm trying to think I should have taken consistency, because you guys think this gold is normal. But the thing is, I did natural everything this game as well, and I hit a Brawler Heart, which is kind of fake. But yeah, normally you wouldn't have leveled until 4-1. And on 4-1, I would probably roll here until at least Jax 2. And also, it's going to be a hero augment most of the time here. So we're going to look for basically any Jax and there's a Sejuani one that hits the whole board. Because most likely it's going to be 3 and 4 cost augments here. And you can go for Riven 3 in this comp, or you can go for Sejuani 2. And all your tank items will go on one of them. So here hits Soraka, and he also gets hardened with Lee Sin, which actually gives Jax AP, which actually kind of matters. So here I would roll until I would level here until 7, because normally you don't have as much gold. And then I'll roll for at least Jax 2 to stabilize. And I'll play with Brawler Heart, I would play Sejuani over Soraka. And we hit just like that. Okay, I'm starting to think this game is like too high roll. Depending on if you're contested or not, here on level 7, you can decide if you want to play either Jax carry, Jax 3 carry, I mean, or Jax 2 and tempo to fast 9 and play legendaries. But you would never drop 8 brawlers almost always because you will never have enough gold to pivot off. But basically this comp, the tempo is you probably want to roll on 3-2, roll on 4-1, and just tempo. So here we hit a Jax augment, so it's all tier 3s. So we'll just take invasion. And usually you don't want to pick up the orb because it leaves the Jax in the pool. So if I was in this spot and I wasn't contested Jax, I would just roll here. Because I also like really spike off a Sejuani. Because if I hit a Sejuani like that, you just play 8 bruisers. And it's usually, or brawlers, I mean. What am I missing? Oh, this guy. But I just realized I have admin, but the admin of this game was kind of useless. This is usually a board on level 7 with a bruiser heart. If you don't have a bruiser heart, usually you just drop Renekton for Soraka for admin. And yeah, that's basically the comp. You go for Jax 3. This comp is pretty easy to force. You just literally just buy the bruisers or buy the brawlers. You can probably play this comp 20 out of 20 straight up until diamond. And I'll try to make easier guides like this. Just explain to you guys my thought process and like how to force a comp 20 out of 20. So quick recap, start bow, buy only the bruisers in stage 1 and 2 with any backline carry to hold Jax items. Only have bruisers active on 3-1, level 6 and roll on 3-2 until Jax 1 or stable board. Level 7 on 4-1 and roll until at least Jax 2. Reevaluate your spot to see if you want to go level 8 or roll for Jax 3 and Riven 3. Best hero augments to take will be like either Jax augments, Boxing Lessons, which is Vi, Reverbulation, which is Riven, Invigorate, which is one of the Lee Sin ones. For admins, take anything that says your team, so anything that says like your team buffs, you probably want to take it. Best Jax items like RFC and then either Rageblade or GS and Bloodthirster or Hodge. Tank items on either Vi 3, Riven 3, or Sejuani 2, whatever you feel like you're gonna hit first. And best in slot Soraka is Blue Buff or Sojin, and then you want 2 DP items like Death Cap, True Lotus, or Giant Slayer. Hopefully this guy helps you like how to just force one comp non-stop.